Good day everyone, my name is Justine Mhel Cailing from BSc 1-1, and for this video I will discuss to you my topic which is all about the relative deprivation theory and general strain theory. So our first topic is all about the relative deprivation theory. In this topic we have three objectives. First is to know who developed this theory, what is this theory all about, and how this theory related in criminality. So to start our topic, I will tell you a short story. The story of two friends which is the donut. They are Paulito, the intelligent boy, and Melito, the lazy boy. In school, Paulito is an academic awardee, while his friend Melito is not. So every time Paulito receives an award, Melito feels jealous at him. So because of that, he have the desire to be an academic awardee. So he study hard. He put some efforts and time in his study because he believes that when he do that, he became an academic awardee. Melito became so very happy when he saw his grades. He got high grades and he became an academic awardee. So he is very excited to show it to his friend Paulito, but eventually, Paulito's grades is higher than him. So even though Melito achieved his desire to become an academic awardee, he still feels disappointed to himself because someone is better than him, and that is his friend Paulito. So in this story, we can relate our topic, which is the relative deprivation theory. Later on in our discussion, we will understand what is relative deprivation theory and what is its connection in our story and in criminality. So, relative deprivation theory was developed during the World War II by Samuel Stopper. He said that this theory is based on the concept that person may feel deprived of some desirable thing relative to their own past, other persons or group, or some other social category. So, in this theory, we are dealing with our desire, the feeling of being deprived, and social comparison. Through our discussion, we will understand how crime was started from our desire, going to feeling of being deprived, to social comparison before crime was committed. But first, let's define what is desire. Desire is the strong feeling of wanting to have something and wishing something to happen. As a person, we have many desires in life. A great opportunity, a better and perfect relationship, to be wealthy or rich person, to have a good pathway of career, and lastly, to find and feel the real happiness. All of us has different desires in life. But sometimes, because of our desires, we feel that we are being deprived. We are being deprived from those desirable things that we believe we also deserve that. So as a person, we will do anything just to achieve those desires. So we will work hard. We will put some efforts and time for us to achieve it. So because of our hard works, time and efforts, the time will come and we can achieve those desires that will make us happy. So, but the happiness that we feel will decreases when we started to compare it to other. When we started to compare the amount of our achievements to other achievements. So when their achievements is higher or bigger than our achievements, we will feel disappointed because we always want to be on the top. So, we know the things that we can do if we feel that someone is better than us. That sometimes we look our life as a game that has full of competition. That we should compete in order to be on the top and avoid putting ourselves in the bottom. This is how the relative deprivation theory related in criminality. That because of social comparison, we can feel that we are being deprived, we are weak, and we are loser. So as a person, we want to do something to change that. So even though our way is bad or illegal, we will still do that because we want a change. So for us to avoid these kinds of wrongdoing, we should change our perception that life is a competition, that we should stop comparing ourselves to others and start accept the fact that all of us has different strengths and weaknesses, that we should be contented to what we have, because always remember that a contented person is a happy person. So we should be contented for us to be happy. And that is what is the relative deprivation theory. So, our second topic is all about the general strain theory. Indeed, it was proposed by Robert Agnew in 1992, and he said that general strain theory refers to the notion that some people react to the various stressors in life by unhealthy coping mechanisms such as turning into crime. So in this theory, we are focusing on the reaction of a person towards stressors in life that eventually it became the reason to commit the crime. So for us to clearly understand this theory, I create a cycle in which it will show the stages on how the crime was committed in general strain theory. So as we look in the cycle, it was started from negative experience to strain to negative emotions before it turns into criminality. So from this cycle, let's discuss first what is strain. So, strain is defined as a measure of material deformation in response to an applied force or stress. So, strain is simply our stress, being stressed. So, as a person, we became stressed because of many reasons. But before we discuss those reasons or sources of our strain, I just want to ask you some questions. I will give some situation, then I will ask you, how do you feel about that? How do you feel if that situation will happen to you? So first, how do you feel if you think that you are not physically attractive, not just like others? How do you feel if the person you love the most chose to leave you for the rest of your life? And how do you feel if your parents doesn't give you attention and time, then feel that you are forgotten? So, we cannot deny the fact that all of us experience how to be stressed. We became stressed because of problems in school, family, friends, in relationship, and other. So, these are some situations that we can feel that we can stress, the source of our stress. So now let's explore and understand the sources of our strain. So, in general strain theory, it said that we have three types of strain. First is the failure to achieve positively goals, the removal of positively valued stimuli from individual, and the presentation of negative stimuli. So, first, let's discuss the failure to achieve positively goals. So in this factor, we are focusing on the reaction of a person towards his expectation and achievements. So as a person, we have our own standard of satisfaction in terms of our achievements. That if the level of our expectation is in this part, the level of our achievement should be in this part or in this part. Because we always want our achievements higher than our expectation. So the example for this is the social class intelligence and physical attractiveness and ability. So in physical attractiveness, as a person, we always wanted to be beautiful and attractive. So sometimes we are buying some beauty product that we believe we can improve our looks. But sometimes that product is not effective on us. So we feel disappointed to that product and we feel disappointed to ourselves. Because in that product, we are expected that it can improve our looks. But our achievements on that product is not on the level of our expectations. So maybe it became the reasons of our stress, and that later on it can give us different negative emotions. In social class intelligence, we can relate the story of a graduating student who jumped on the building because of the depression that he experienced when he failed on his OJT. So in this scenario, we can see the impact of expectation and achievements that the student expected that he will graduate, but eventually he failed on his OJT. So his actual achievement doesn't meet his expectations. So it makes him stress that later on it pushes him to commit suicide. Our second factor is all about the removal of positively valued stimuli from individual. As a person, it is part of our life that we can experience different kinds of loss, heartbreak, pain, and other that can give us different emotion that results to wrong actions in life. So as the main idea of the second factor, it emphasized that a person became stressed when something or someone was lost, especially when that person or thing is very important to him or her. So aside from loss, it also emphasized the revenge that a person may feel after the loss. So our example for this is the loss of friend, late from a job, and end of relationship. So from this example, the most problem of millennials is ending a relationship. That I have many friends who are experiencing this kind of problem. That based on my observation to them, they became stressed because of this. So for me, I believe that in every no from someone is a yes from someone better. So to all my fellow students who are in the stage of moving on, please, do not stress yourself. God has a better plan for you. Maybe that person is not the right person you deserve, or maybe that person is not the right person for you. So, be happy and move on. So, in the current issue, we can relate the story of Achi Paray, a 40-year-old man who chose to hostage a dozen of people in Green Hills, San Juan after firing him from his job as security guard on March 2, 2020. As sources of strain is the presentation of negative stimuli. So in this factor, it focuses on the different violence, abuses, and neglection that a person experienced from his or her past that reflects on his action on the present. So our example for this is the domestic violence, or the violence that happened on the marriage couple that either a wife or husband do violence against his partner. Second is the physical or sexual abuse that usually happen in the children. And lastly, the child neglection. So, from this negative experience, the person became stressed. And stress makes us feel different emotions like despair, anger, and depressed. We know the things that we can do if we are experiencing these kinds of emotions. These emotions change the way on how we will react to the different things in life. This emotion pushes us on our limitations, that pushes us to do things even though it is bad, because we are out of our mind, and our emotions are the one who control us. So, this is the reason why we commit crimes like murder and suicide. If there are negative things that happen to us, do not take it as a negative thing. Instead, use it as a motivation and lessons for you to do not experience it again. That when we are in the point of our life that we feel we are stressed, call and talk to Him, because He is the one who will help us to overcome that problem and stop you to do bad things. And let's remember that in our life, we cannot apply the rules of mathematics, which is negative multiplied by negative, the product is positive. We should remember that in life, in every negative things happen to us, we should give it positive things for us to have a good and positive outcome. So again, I'm Justine Mhel Cailing from BSC 1-1. And thank you and God bless.